Hello students, how are you all? I hope you all are doing very well. So, today I'll be teaching you your chapter number 10 of science book, that is changes in our environment. So now let's see chapter at a glance, that is our environment, pollution, greenhouse gases, reuse and recycle, and global warming. So here you can see the engage which you have to do. Okay, so now let's start this chapter. We often hear and use the term environment in our daily lives, but what is it? What all does our environment include? We will discuss these and many more things related to the environment in this chapter. Our environment. Our environment consists of living and non-living things like air, water, land, plants, and animals. These interact with each other. However, human beings change the environment to suit their needs. Your great grandparents live in a different environment. The houses were well ventilated, there was greenery all around, there were few electric gadgets, less vehicles on the road, and fresh air. Gradually, human beings have changed the grasslands around them into farmlands. Parts of forests have been cut down to build colonies and factories. Wildlife habitats have been reduced or destroyed. Human activities have made some changes in our atmosphere. 2. Factories are set up to everyday life to meet increasing demands. The number of vehicles on the road is increasing day by day. The amount of smoke produced also keep increasing. Thus, air, water, and land are getting more and more polluted. So, a greenhouse is a glass house where we grow plants, especially during in winter. In a greenhouse, the climate is controlled. The sun's rays pass through the glass and warm up the inside of the house. Here you can see the picture of greenhouse. Plants grow well in the warm and moist air of a greenhouse. What makes it warm? The ultraviolet and infrared rays from the sun bring it heat and light energy. The glass walls of a greenhouse do not allow the heat to escape. Now let's see greenhouse gases. The Earth's atmosphere is a blanket of gases. Some of these gases like carbon dioxide, nitrous oxide, methane, and water vapor have the property of trapping energy from the sun. These gases do not allow the heat to escape back into space. They warm up the earth. These gases are called greenhouse gases, and this effect is known as the greenhouse effect. The effect means an increase in the concentration of greenhouse gases in the atmosphere, which leads to an increase in the amount of infrared radiation close to the surface of the earth. Here you can also see the picture of greenhouse effect. Now let's see carbon dioxide. The amount of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere has been increasing gradually over the last 100 years. The main reason are the burning of fossil fuels and the destruction of rainforest. If carbon dioxide keeps on increasing at the present rate, more heat will be trapped in the atmosphere and the temperature of the earth could increase. Next is methane. Methane is a natural gas. When grass-eating animals digest their food, their systems release a large quantity of methane into the atmosphere. The waste from animals called manure is used as fertilizer. This releases more methane into the atmosphere. This gas warms up our planet. Now next is water vapor. Water vapor accounts for 35 to 75% of the greenhouse effect. Next is ozone. Ozone is found in the atmosphere. Next is CFC, that is chlorofluorocarbon, is a chemical widely used in refrigerators, air conditioners, and in mainly other industrial processes. It warms up the atmosphere. So now let's see the next topic, that is global warming. Greenhouse gases in the atmosphere trap the heat of the sun and there is a rise in temperature on the earth. This is called global warming. Now, in the last 100 years, the average temperature of the earth has risen by 1 Fahrenheit, and in the next century, it may rise by 2 to 6 Fahrenheit. This will change the climate for the worse. The effects of climate change are visible: melting of polar ice caps, rise in water level of ocean, and flooding of places near the sea. Efforts need to be made to reduce the warming up process. Each country, especially The ones which release more greenhouse gases should reduce them. That is the only way to prevent a major disaster. Here you can see the picture of in which the melting of polar ice due to global warming is there. Each one of us can do a bit by using electricity carefully, reducing the use of fuel, using mass transport systems like the bus or the metro, growing more trees and using recycled products. Many countries have signed agreements aimed at reducing greenhouse gases. One such agreement is the Kyoto Protocol. And in the knowledge basket, you can see that trees helps to maintain the balance in nature. A single tree can absorb approximately 1 ton of carbon dioxide during its lifetime. So, plant trees whenever and wherever possible. So now let's see the next topic, that is pollution. Pollution is the contamination of land, air and water. Smoke from vehicles, factories and houses fouls the air. Garbage from houses thrown in the open pollutes land and air and causes disease. Now, spilling of air or petroleum and dumping of chemical wastes from factories into rivers and seas harm water, plants and animals. When nuclear power station produces electricity, harmful poisonous waste mixes with the air. Steps to control pollution. We must restrict the use of vehicles and electricity. Local bodies like panchayat, municipalities and corporations must make people realize that pollution can be reduced if factories are located in areas away from places where people live. Tall chimneys fitted with filters are used in factories to let out smoke and gases. Waste is treated and made harmless before being dumped into water bodies. Garbage that can be wet or dry from houses is thrown at proper dumping places. The use of plastic bag is reduced. Now here you can also see the picture which is showing pollution spoils the beauty of nature and cause health problems. Now let's see. The white marble of the Taj Mahal in Agra is turning yellow because of the chemical given out by factories around it. To save the monument, many factories have been closed down or relocated. Trees help to keep the air clean, so trees have been planted around the Taj Mahal. Monuments like the Red Fort are periodically renovated by the Archaeological Survey of India. And the tech talk is that greenhouse gas emission can be reduced by making power and other climate-friendly energy resources with renewables. Examples include rooftop solar panels, solar water heating, small-scale wind generation, fuel cells powered by natural gas or renewable hydrogen and geothermal energy. So now let's see the reuse and recycle. This is done to reduce the accumulation of waste like metals, tablecloths, rubber and plastic in landfills. These materials can be reduced directly or recycled and then reused. Now, let's see rubber. Used tires can be cut into shape of swing seats, climbing frames and rubber slippers or chappals. Rubber tubes are also used to make jewelry items like beads, rings and bracelets. Old truck tires are recycled to make playground surfaces, pencil pouches and diary covers. So now let's see what is metal. Metal objects thrown away by people can be reused. People buy pipes, rods and gates from scrap dealers for reuse as they are cheap. Have you seen leftover metal sheets with holes used to make rags and cages? Craftsmen buy and melt pieces of jewelry. Every new car has some recycled part of an old car. Empty aluminum cans are cleaned, shredded, melted and reshaped into new can for reuse. And in the knowledge basket you can see that deforestation and unnecessary killing of animals threaten the life of both plant and animals. We need to grow more trees. Celebrating of Vano Mahotsav every year is one way of doing so. The Chipko movement in Garhwal and the Appiko movement in Karnataka are some efforts to protect trees. So now let's see moral learned. Studying climate change will help us understand why global temperature continue to rise, how the climate affects us and how we tackle this challenge before things get much worse. So now let's see. Recapitulation. Our environment consists of living and non-living things like air, water, land, plants and animals. A greenhouse is a greenhouse where we grow plants, especially during winter. Now next is methane, is a natural thing. Pollution is the contamination of land, air and water. So that's all for today, students. I hope you have enjoyed this chapter. So now I will meet you in the next lecture with a new chapter. Till then, revise this chapter and keep learning. Thank you.